Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sports live stream watch along of the San Marino Grand Prix, the final race. Sorry, not the final race. Actually, no, I think it is the final race in Europe. I might be wrong. Oh no, it's in Aragon next weekend. Sorry, in 2 weeks as well. But welcome to our live stream watch along. We are currently on a warm-up lap, and I'm just trying to get the leaderboard up, which would be very helpful as the riders are about to line up for the start of the race. But get in touch on the live chat page, folks. We'd love to hear from you. Well, the riders are about to go. And there we go. The start has begun. I do apologise for the lateness, folks. I've had all sorts of problems with this computer today. And there is the leaderboard. Anyway, here we go then. It looks as though Jack Miller's still ahead. Bagnaia in third, trying to just keep away from... Well, Bezecchi's gone down. There's 3 bikes gone. Johan Zarco is one of them. He is gone. And that's a yellow flag for, of course, Sector 1. And just within the first lap of a 27-lap race, we see 3 riders out of the race. We see a Repsol Honda there. We saw Zarco. It involves Espargaro as well. Paul Espargaro from Repsol Honda and Perot, who is gone. So already 3 out of this race. Those bikes are not going to move at all again today. But it looks as though Paul Espargaro, he's got his hand towards his right wrist. I think he might be injured, you know, which is never a good sign. There you go, folks. The leaderboard is finally intact. Do vote on our poll who you think is going to win. So at the moment, it's Jack Miller first, Bastianini second, Bagnaia third. We've got Fabio Quartararo all the way down in 8th. So not the best of starts, even though he started a bit down, but it's just not been easy for him so far. And looking at the votes at the moment, Bagnaia is ahead. We got 197116. Michael saying hi, hello. HB Baxter saying HB Baxter in the house. In the house, in the MotoGP LTS house right now, you could say. So they're just showing the replay again on turn 1. And it was a simple domino effect. 1 slipped and then 2 others to the left of, I think it was... Oh, Jack Miller's gone off as well now. Turn 4. The race leader now down the bottom of the leaderboard. Bastianini will take the lead then. Bagnaia up to second. Jack Miller's teammate. Oh dear. Jack Miller, of course, this is his last season with Ducati before he moves on to another team next summer. Oh, there's another one that slipped. Everyone's falling off. Is that Bezecchi? It is. It's Marco Bezecchi on turn 10. He started the race in second and now he goes off. That was at turn 10, as I just mentioned. So it's happening in different parts of the track, not just one certain corner, which I can't remember which MotoGP race it was, where we saw quite a few go off on the same corner due to maybe something that leaked onto the track. But no, this race so far is looking quite eventful, and it looks as though no rider is safe at the moment. Bagnaia down on the straight, just behind Bastianini as they approach turn 1, which is a right turn. Bastianini still ahead. Now Bagnaia trying to go on the inside, but he's just a bit too far away that time to close the gap. But they approach turn 2. And Vanillas, of course, is in third at the moment. So, actually, Quartararo, our leaderboard's a bit ahead of the stream on watching, but it looks as though Quartararo somehow got up to third now. I've got him at 6th place at the moment. But there is another yellow flag in Sector 1. So only in lap 3. What a race this is already. It's carnage. But Bagnaia going ahead. He overtakes Bastianini. Good move there. Nice, smooth, slick. Cool as you like. But he's going to watch it. Bastianini's right behind his tail again. Well, it looks as though it's all happening here at this race. Absolutely incredible to watch so far. And there's an incident in turn 4. So here we go. Then Gian Antonio and Morbidelli have crashed now. So they must have been the two riders that went off for Quartararo to maybe go up to 3rd. As I say that, though, Quartararo's back to 6th on the leaderboard. But yeah, he's 6th still on my stream. They're just showing the Jack Miller moment again. So this was at turn 4 and he just, again, just lost control. It wasn't overreaction or anything. It just gone. So I think we had, what, 25 to start off with. We've already lost 6 of them. So Quartararo, I don't know why they're bringing up the live championship at the moment, but at the moment, Bagnaia will be 29 points behind Quartararo if it stays like this. Bagnaia has been on superb form, probably the best rider out there at the moment. He's won quite a few back-to-back races this season, but he's still a bit behind Quartararo. So there's a lot of work to do in the second half of the season. But who knows? Quartararo just not been in race winning form as late. Not consistently, anyway. He's picked up a win here and there throughout the season. But he's picked up points when it matters. And that's, just like a Premier League football season or an F1 World Championship. It's all about consistency when it's all about getting the most points throughout a season. It's very simple, but very difficult to do. Alex Espargaro in 5th at the moment. He was the championship contender, but he has fallen down the list in the last few races. He's just about to try and hunt down Martinelli, is it? Got more comments in the live chat page, so thanks for getting in touch. Aaron saying Mana, Gander saying Tak Bisa. I'm not sure what they all mean, but thanks for getting in touch. We're currently on lap 5 of 27 at the moment. If you're new to the channel as well, folks, do subscribe. We're very close to 10,300 subscribers, so click that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. And looking at the live poll, it's still Bagnaia that's leading. I must admit, folks, I'm a bit nervous today. My team, Man United, play Arsenal in the Premier League. Arsenal have won all 5 of their games so far, so I think they're currently top of the league since Man City drew last night to Aston Villa. But it's fair to say it's going to be a nerve-wracking one. We've won our last 3 games. We're 6 points behind Arsenal, but if we win today, we could just be 3 points behind Arsenal, which isn't bad when you consider the fact that we lost our 2 games pretty badly. I'm just wondering if Anthony will start today. Maybe not. Helicopter following the front 2 leaders. Bagnaia still first. Vanillas in second. Great race for him so far. Bastianini third. So he has gone down a couple of places since leading the race. And Alex Rins for Suzuki has got the fastest lap of 1:32.6 so far. I'm sure we'll see it get topped later on. Of course, the F1 is on today. I think it's a 2 o'clock start, the Dutch Grand Prix. Max Verstappen in pole position in his home race, which, not bad for him. But I feel like that championship's already done with compared to this one. This MotoGP one, still a late shout for Bagnaia, especially if he wins this race today. They're just showing that crash again. I'm just watching it now, the Bezzecchi one on turn 10. Again, he went a bit wide and then just slid too far to its right, and then that was it. He couldn't get it back up. It's just a simple moment of overbalancing for Bezzecchi. He's a good rider, though. He'll come back. Maybe not in this race. He's 20th at the moment, but in the future races. So now the points tally between Quartararo and Bagnaia in the top two is 30, so it's gone up by a point. Quartararo on 211 points. That is currently the leading point score. He's 5th at the moment. That's why it's gone up by a point. He's 0.08 of a second behind 4th of Marini. We got Bagnaia still leading on a pole, 42% of you going for that. Quartararo at 30%. Remember to subscribe, folks. Bastianini 132.2, I think it was, or 0.3. I can't quite tell, but either way, it's a new fastest lap from the man in third. 20 laps to go. So it pretty much takes just over a minute and a half to go round the lap around Misano, which is named after Simoncelli, who we sadly lost. I think it was 11 years ago now. I can't believe if it has been 11 years, my word. Really sad day in MotoGP when he was involved in a crash. And then I think he died in hospital later on. I'm not sure if he died at the track or if he had been pronounced dead in the hospital when they took him for treatment. But it just shows in MotoGP, I think it was a few years, not long ago, we lost someone in either Moto2 or Moto3. Hey, here we go, the championship leader and the world champion, Quartararo's got fastest lap, 132.1. And he's just overtaken Alex Espargaro on turn 14. There's nothing that Quartararo does wrong. He's just so good at it. You can rely on him to just bring that bike home as well. Like, he did a tight overtake there on turn 14 with Alex Espargaro, but he still got out clean in the end. No one was hurt, no one was touched. Nice and clean. Great racing. So Bagnaia having to look over his shoulders, I think, maybe, because I think that is Vanillas right behind him. Jack Miller, who was on pole, he did go all the way down to the bottom of the leaderboard because he went off his bike. He's still in the race, though, it seems, at 18th place. Lovely sunny day here in San Marino. But yeah, Aragon's the next race in 2 weeks. I kept thinking this was the last European race, but it isn't. But I say that, I keep forgetting Valencia hosts the final race of the season normally. Coming through the straight again, there's 4 of them. Approaching turn 1, the top 4, it's that close. Bagnaia, Vanillas and Bastianini, your top 3 at the moment. Fabio Quartararo would like to change that, who's in 5th. Moreni in 4th. I wonder if Bezzecchi did... No, Bezzecchi's still in the race, it seems. He's 20th. And Gian Antonio apparently is still in it, even though he crashed. So I thought we had 6 riders out, but it looks as though we've only got 4 out. Sometimes I just assume that they're out when they go off the track. But it all depends on the bike's condition and if the rider can continue as well. Let's not forget, riders can get very well easily injured. They're very vulnerable once they crash their bikes, despite all the padding and the safety that they're wearing and the race kit. But even when they go off the track, you can still see burns on them in terms of, getting it off the astroturf of the track or even just from the grass and stuff. You still see it go through the suit. Well, the Ducati lot, as every team, is in the garage and watching on nervously. So, oh, that big bend. Vinilas just looking just nearby, approaching behind. Good over-shoulder cam view of Vinilas trying to overtake Bagnaia. According to the Bagnaia, still leading on the poles. So 17 laps to go. Still a lot to fight for, as we're on lap 11 of 27. Luca Moreni in fourth. Marc Marquez is there this weekend for Repsol Honda. He's not able to race, of course, but he is in recovery at the moment, and he's been able to recently get back out on his motorbike. So could we see him before the end of the season? They pretty much confirmed he wouldn't be back at all this season, but you never know. These athletes recover quite quickly from certain injuries that should be a bit longer term for them, but it just shows with these athletes that their bodies are well healthy and well active and up for anything, even when there's damage. It's quite incredible how some of them recover quite quickly. Quartararo still in fifth. Remember, folks, to subscribe to the channel and help us reach 11,000. That's our next step here on Let's Talk Sport. If you keep getting the sport, we could keep doing our MotoGP watch-alongs and other sports as well. We are just 6 subscribers away, so do click that subscribe button, folks. Well, at the moment, we've currently got Vinilas with a warning against him. I'm not sure what that's all about, but Bagnaia, it looks as though it's a track minutes warning for Jorge Martin, and maybe that's the same with Vinilas, and that's from the race direction team. But here we go then, Bagnaia still ahead of Vinilas. Vinilas, he ain't giving up, he keeps going. Still 14 laps to go though. Quartararo watching on from the 4 in front. He ain't far away from that top spot. Moreni, Quartararo then. It's Moreni that's in front of Quartararo. That'll be the first man he needs to overtake. And then Bastianini, if he wants to at least get a podium spot and share it with his championship contender of Bagnaia. And it looks as though for a moment I thought Vinilas was going on the inside of Bagnaia, but just a bit too far away again. Still 30 points, the gap between the top two of Quartararo and Bagnaia in the live championship table. DJ and Antonio still 21st, Bezzecchi 19th. Dovizioso is all the way in 12th. Brad Binder in 11th, Alex Marquez in 10th, Miguel Oliveira 9th, Rins 8th, Jorge Martin 7th, Alex Espargaro 6th, Fabio Quartararo 5th, Moreni 4th, Bastianini 3rd, Vinales 2nd, and Bagnaia 1st at the moment. But there's literally we're talking only like a second gap between Quartararo and Bagnaia, I would say. 1.5 seconds. I haven't got that in front of me, but yeah, 1.3 seconds maybe. So we've got Vinales 2nd, still trying to get behind, still just behind Bagnaia, but Bagnaia, he's become stronger and more formed, you could say, when he leads races. We saw earlier this season and definitely last season where he had a couple of races, or even more than that, where he'd lead them by a good majority and then lose the control of the bike or himself, and just maybe get too nervous for him to actually then go on to lose the race. So we don't see that at the moment in the last few weeks from Bagnaia. He, just comes down to experience. You got to learn from it and use it to improve on yourself. But it has been very calm in the top 5 so far. We haven't seen much overtaking recently. And it's the fastest lap for Maverick Vinales, which will, I'm sure, kind of indicate that he's closing down on Bagnaia. He is just right behind him, but he's just not been close enough to look at it now. Can he go for it? He's on the outside. No, this time he's got another turn to go through. And now one on to the left. Bagnaia just gets a bit further away out of that turn. There he comes on the inside now. No, just a little too far again as they go under the Red Bull advertising bridge. And he's gone a little wide again, Vinales. Bagnaia will be able to just go a little further ahead. Now onto a turn. That's a right turn. 2 corners, in fact. And that... Oh, Bastianini. Big mistake. Lets Moreni through, but Bastianini trying to go back for it on the inside. And he does. He gets it. Bastianini regains from that, but of course that gets the gap a bit bigger between the top 2 and 3rd and 4th. And then you got Quartararo just behind, a second behind Moreni according to the leaderboard, and 0.600 for the second between 2nd and 3rd. So a little gap between 2nd and 3rd, and then a little gap between 4th and 5th of Marini and Quartararo. 10 laps to go in this 27 lap race. If you haven't yet, folks, do subscribe and give us a like on Let's Talk Sport. We'd really appreciate your support. Vinales with another fastest lap, a 1:32.2, and he's right on his tail. What's he going to have to do to get this overtake opportunity? There doesn't seem to be much overtaking opportunities on this track. But as I say that, oh, no, I thought maybe he was going to attempt the inside of Bagnaia again, but they approach another turn. Turn 8, I think that was. Now on to turn 9. Turn 10, the exit. Still Bagnaia ahead. Alex Espargaro's 2 seconds behind Fabio Quartararo. I didn't see that, but there's an exclamation point warning sign towards Fabio Quartararo, who's in 5th on the leaderboard. I haven't seen what that is for. Massimo, the CEO of Aprilia Racing, just watching on at the moment in the pit wall. But it has been an interesting race so far. It's good to see Vinales up there battling it out for first spot. And you can see a big punch in the air by Marini's team staff looking over the pit wall window as they come down the straight. He's just punching in, like just punching the air like that, saying, "Come on, come on, try and get that podium spot." Bagnaia knows that he's got to try and win every race left on the calendar, which is a big ask, but if he wants to close down on a rider that rarely makes mistakes and is very consistent of Fabio Quartararo, and he knows he's got to keep trying to close that gap, we could potentially have a 30 points gap after this race. Can't remember from the top of my head if it's 19 races this season or 20. And this is the 14th race. And we have reached 10,300 subscribers. So thanks to all of you for supporting us, especially those that have come today and given us some support. We'd really do appreciate it. Bagnaia at 50% now on our votes. Miller 13%. No chance of him winning today after the terrible start the Australian had. And Quartararo 28%. 9% for other riders, since sadly we can't fit them all in. YouTube only allows 4 options when voting. So Vinales with an exclamation point still. I'm just wondering what that was. Maybe track limits. I'd imagine same for Quartararo, but I haven't seen them make obvious mistakes unless it happened off camera. The gap's got a little bit bigger again between the top 2. They're just showing a replay here. And he went a little wide. Vinales. And then Marini's been able to gain on him, and he's just behind him now. So, sorry, Bastianini, that is. Bastianini is in 3rd. He would love to try and at least gain one more spot after losing 1st place. And Bastianini has overtaken Vinales. Now, can he go on to try and chase down Bagnaia? He's still got Vinales right behind him. And this might help Bagnaia just create the gap a bit more with them two trying to overtake each other. It's 0.7 of a second, the gap between the top two now. Bastianini's still ahead of him. 7 laps to go. Quartararo's not been able to gain since we last checked up on him. He's still 5th. .8 seconds, Marini and Quartararo. Probably too much to ask now for the Frenchman to try and at least gain another spot. It's quite a gap, actually, with just 6 laps to go. It says 7, but it's technically 6. It's 1.5 seconds now between Marini and Quartararo. Bagnaia, just showing a replay on him now. What's he done here? They're just showing him going over the curbs. Nice and balanced, but look at this. Bastianini's gaining on him. And I tell you what, he might just have a chance to ruin this race for Bagnaia. Still 5 laps for him to do it. They've got themselves further and further away from Vinelas. Vinelas may have to probably accept third or to just try and defend that. He's a bit far behind, and Bastianini, you could say, overtook for second at probably the right time of the race to give him a shout. We got Joseph Jr. saying hello. Do get in touch on the live chat page, folks. We've not heard much from you lot today. We'd love to hear from you. So the battle for first is definitely on at the moment. I tell you what, it just looks tiring just seeing them race for this long. I mean, to go on your right shoulder and left shoulder, then right shoulder and left shoulder, and at that speed as well, the G-force that they're facing to keep themselves on a bike and to deal with all those riders around you, it just shows how tough this sport is. 4 laps to go. And there's quite a lot of Ducati fans watching in the stands. They're not celebrating, they're not moving much in the stands. They're just a bit nervous, I think. Because I think they just want to hope that Bagnaia could just stay at the top of the leaderboard to come the checkered flag. Bastianini is hoping to upset a majority of those fans, you could say. They're coming down on the straight then to complete another lap. So 24 laps done out of a 27 lap race. Still Bagnaia leads. Quartararo may just stay in 5th for this. Luigi Dall'Igna, who is the team principal of Ducati, is sitting down in the garage at the moment. And he was just talking to one of his colleagues there. And I think they just know that this is important race win for Bagnaia if he gets it, because of the gap in the leaderboard today between Quartararo and Bagnaia. It just gives him a shout to just decrease the gap and to try and still fight for this World Championship. Like I say, he's on the form of his life, Bagnaia. It's just, for him, he's looking at the leaderboard thinking, still so much to do, though. And the board is out again. Lap 25 of 27, 2 to go. Helicopter watching on, and so are the fans in the stands nearby. Bastianini, could he get this timing all spot on, all of this planning over the last few laps to overtake, to get second, and then to pretty much be on Bagnaia's tail? It just feels as though this is the main bit of the race now, these top two. Still trailing. 2.6 seconds the gap between second and third, so I think that pretty much sums up that the top two are the only ones in with a chance of winning this race now. And Quartararo may not have to worry about losing any places because he's over 2 seconds ahead of Alex Espargaro, and that guy is in 6th. He'll go third in the World Championship, Espargaro, 33 points behind Quartararo and just 3 behind Bagnaia if the race stays like this. But let's put in our rider of the day, shall we? So we're going to put in a new poll on the live chat page, folks. And we're going to ask for your rider of the day. There was a long lap penalty for Miguel Oliveira. So the poll is up, folks. Do vote for your rider of the day, and we'll announce it after the race is finished. So Bagnaia, Vinales, Martin and Bastianini are the nominations from Let's Talk Sports Rider of the Day. I've just noticed our leaderboard hasn't been updating. There we go. Well, Bagnaia still ahead. Win the last lap then, folks. This could be it. Bastianini, I think he's too far behind still. The gap is about that much, which in MotoGP terms is probably just too big when there's only one lap to go. But there's a few Ducati flags being waved in the stands. They're getting ready and hoping. Well, actually, Bastianini just on the outside at the moment. They've just lapped one of the riders from the back. He wasn't in the way for any of them, so that was good. Didn't ruin any of the bit of racing between the two. Last lap then, can Bastianini, he's coming in. Oh! And I think Bagnaia's just beaten him to it on the line. That was incredible. I didn't think, what was I saying seconds before? Bastianini was probably too far behind. And he hangs his head down, and maybe in shame, but I don't think he should. He knows he was a tic-tac away from stealing the race from Bagnaia. But Bagnaia gets another race win for the season and for Ducati. So that means he will go 30 points behind Quartararo. But what an end to a race that was just then. I doubted Bastianini, and technically I was right, but my word, it wasn't. It was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Wow, what an end to a race that was. Does he get you a rider of the day? Do vote on the live poll. Or it's very clear who won the race. I could see it from the first time I saw it, but they're just showing the line finish again, and yeah, he was. I'd probably say a ruler, a typical school kid ruler that they'd have in their pencil case. Is pencil case still a thing these days? I'd imagine so. It's all down to computers, isn't it now? So 25 points for Bagnaia. Bastianini will have to accept second and take the 20 points. And Maverick Vinales, 16 points, who was at first trying to overtake Bagnaia, but at the end he just couldn't keep up with the pace of the two Italians at the top. There's a few chaps with pink t-shirts and flags for Bastianini. They're pushing his bike out again. Not sure what's going on there. But I think Vinales will take that podium spot. He'll be delighted with his race. Started fourth and was able to just go at least one space higher. And Fabio Quartararo already putting his motorbike into the garage, and he literally was posing like that with his hand, with his helmet still on. A bit of thinking time maybe for him. I'd love to know how these MotoGP riders balance themselves by standing on the motorbike and just letting it go straight forward. So that is 4 wins in a row for Bagnaia. First Ducati rider to take 4 wins in a row. So there's a bit of history there for you. But yeah, he started 5th today and he still climbed up to win the race. It is mad to think, though, he's still 30 points behind Quartararo. You'd think the gap would have been smaller with his last 4 wins, but no. Quartararo's been able to stay in the mix to just keep the gap a bit further ahead, and it's still a healthy gap, and there are still a few races to go. I think there's still about 5 races left, so has Quartararo done enough to still win the championship? Technically, mathematically, he hasn't, but he's just walked into the garage now, coming off his bike, and not sure from the body language if maybe Quartararo not happy today, because he was still able to go up 3 places from starting the race in 8th. I mean, that's something positive, but I think he wants to not always see Ducati win the race, and at least see his bike win a race, maybe. But anyway, do vote for your rider of the day. 4 to choose from. Bagnaia, the race winner, Vinales, Jorge Martin, and Bastianini. Bastianini and Vinales at the moment are on 6% each, 78% for Bagnaia and Martin for 11%. Nice to see Vinales run into the mechanics as he parked his bike up to enjoy the celebrations. So we're going to end the poll in just a moment, folks. So I'll give you another 20 seconds to vote for your rider of the day, and then I will end the poll and we'll announce the winner. So you've got 15 seconds. Then 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5, 1, and 0. And that is it. That is end our poll for rider of the day. And it was Francesco Bagnaia who wins the San Marino Let's Talk Sport Grand Prix. Sorry, the San Marino Grand Prix for Let's Talk Sports. Rider of the day goes to Francesco Bagnaia, and well done to him. And to be honest, just for this race win, but just for the last 4 races, including today's race, to just win at the end, they're absolutely fantastic. And to just stay ahead of Bastianini on that straight at the very end of the race on that finish line, absolutely incredible to watch. It really was. But anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up here, folks. So thanks very much for watching our watch along today for the latest MotoGP race in the 2022 calendar. It's been always great to be here with you lot. And of course, if you haven't yet and you enjoyed this stream, do support us by clicking that subscribe button and give us a follow. It's free to do so. It's a free service on Let's Talk Sport, on YouTube, to provide you with live commentaries and live watch-alongs for absolutely free. So we really appreciate your support and for choosing us for today's MotoGP watch-along. And of course, throughout the week and throughout the next few weeks, we do other sports as well, so do be sure to join us for that. Anyway, just before we finish, let's just go through that leaderboard then. So Francesco Bagnaia winning another race this season, 4 in a row for him after winning today in San Marino. Bastianini had to accept runners-up in second place after just missing out on the race win on the finish line. Vinales takes the last spot in the podium, places in third. Marini 4th for Mooney VR 46 because, Bezzecchi went off the track and finished very back end of the leaderboard. Marani 4th, as I mentioned. Fabio Quartararo, championship leader, could only get 5th after starting in 8th position. Alex Espargaro, who's 3rd in the championship and stays 3rd in the championship after finishing behind Fabio Quartararo in 6th. Alex Rins 7th, Brad Binder 8th, Jorge Martin 9th, Alex Marquez 10th, Miguel Oliveira 11th, Dovizioso 12th, Fernandez 13th, Bradle 14th, Nakagami 15th, Binder 16th, 17th Bezzecchi, 18th is Jack Miller after he was pole at the start of the race. He was in pole position, but he went a bit over on his bike and he missed out on a potential win, or at least a podium spot for Ducati. Gardner 19th, Gian Antonio 20th, and Watanabe 21st, while other riders retired, including Morbidelli, Zarco, and Peru. Anyway, thanks again, folks. Subscribe to Let's Talk Sport, and we'll see you very soon in our next watch along or live commentary on Let's Talk Sport. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks.